Hey, what's up? It's your boy Blaze04. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading videos in a while. I'm really sorry for that. But welcome to the top 5 best Pokemon to use in Kanto. And like I said, we'll not be looking at the originals Red, Blue, and Yellow. We're looking at the remakes Fire and Leaf Green. Like I said, those games are glitchy, the special split, because I'm not even starting the special split. But guys, if you guys want to know, let's watch. Before you guys watch it, let's roll the intro first.
It's me, Mario in the game. You probably know my name, and so we start.
Coming up at the number 5 spot is Dugtrio. Sorry if I mispronounced it, but Dugtrio is actually really good in the game and Kanto. Got a good attack stat and speed just to do damage. As you can see, the moves right there are his moves are Fly, Trio Attack, Steel Wing, and Aerial Ace. Fly is there because you need a flyer since you don't want to go back PC just to get a flying type. Trio Attack is a real dangerous move in this game because it was a physical move and Dugtrio does really good with that move. So yeah, so you really need to use this Pokemon. Its next move is Steel Wing, which can cover rock type Pokemon, which is pretty common in the game. So yeah, beware of rock types. Aerial Ace is a pretty good fly type move if you don't want to use fly. And to me, Dugtrio is the best flying type in the game. Does well against a decent amount of the Pokemon. Does well. His gym battle is against Erica. Does well. Has some goes even with the fighting type Elite Four. And can take out Blue's Venusaur and Exeggutor. So yeah, that's really good for the flying type. So in my opinion, Dugtrio is the best flying type in the Kanto region. Coming up at number 4 is Lapras. Lapras is a real great Pokemon in the Kanto region. Non-competitive battling in Gen 3 because it was in Borderline. Then right now in Gen 7 is in PU, but as in Kanto, Lapras is real good. The bad part is why it's not higher is that you can only find it at the Silph Cove, but it's well worth it. Now you can get it before you fight Koga and teach the move Psychic. The move you see is a real great bulky Pokemon with a base 80 defense stat and a great nice night fight. And a fantastic 130 move. So it can be a great mix, it's physical or mixed attacking since its attacking stats in the gen was just good enough to be respectable. Body Slump is a good move because you want that paralyzation. Stab, Surf, and Ice Beam is real good, and Psychic is there to cover up most of the poison types that Team Rocket loves to put it. The only thing you really gotta worry about is Thunderbolt, electric type Pokemon. And fighting types, since the Machop is pretty common. And it does well against the gym leaders, does well against Koga if you teach it Psychic. Bulky enough to like take some hits from Sabrina's Alakazam and her Psychic type. Walls Giovanni. Well, Giovanni's a good match because you gotta worry about those rock types. And destroys Blaine as the Elite Four. It does well against like the fighting type Elite Four's Onix for some reason. And can take out Lance Dragonites and Dragon type Pokemon. And it does well against Arcanine, Charizard, bulky enough to take Gary's Alakazam, and does well against his team. So yeah, Lapras is a pretty decent Pokemon, guys, so you guys should really use it for the Kanto journey. But be aware, you'll only get it right before the 6th gym, or unless you want to go there earlier. Next up is the king of Gold, Silver, and Crystal, Snorlax. And in these games, Snorlax is real great in these games. If you see in his stats, Snorlax is a special one with a great, it famous wall Psychic types like Alakazam. The only Psychic type in the Gen 3 competitive battle that could really beat Snorlax was Metachamp because of his fighting type. But this is for the Kanto. For Kanto, Snorlax is great. You can get it after the 4th gym. It's a real valuable asset on your team because it's real great and it's super bulky. Because of his high, ridiculous base 160 HP, 110 attack to do damage, and 110 10 special to me. I can see Body Slam, Yarn, Brick Threat, and Shadow Ball. You may say, why is Shadow Ball in here? Well, back then, Shadow Ball was a physical move because Ghost types was physical at the time. So yeah, Shadow Ball was great to destroying every single Psychic type that wasn't in Ubers. So yeah, Snorlax is a real dangerous threat. It's bulky enough because of his Shadow Ball can take out, destroy Sabrina's team. Even Venomoth, bulky enough to take out most of his threats. And Brick Break is there to cover rock type Pokemon. And I'm not gonna say steel because Magnemite and Magneton and Fire Red Green were the only steel types in the game. And even then, they don't really do well enough since you get them late game. But yeah, guys, Snorlax is really ridiculously good. His bulk is nothing to laugh at. His move pool is real good. And if you get Yarn and you go to sleep, Snorlax, you're pretty much screwed. So yeah, in my opinion, Snorlax is really, really good. Next up is Starmie. Starmie, in my opinion, is one of the best water types in the entire Kanto region because of his typing Psychic and Water and Psychic is a real good typing. They don't have to worry about Dark type move because the only Dark type move in the game was Bite, and not really that common in the game. And it does well because of his good stats. Because it has the special attacking speed that does damage. And if his stats are good, its move pool is amazing. Getting moves like Surf, Psychic, and Bolt Beam, which is basically Thunderbolt and Ice Beam, and got access to a recovery move, and Recover is really good. Starmie does well against Koga, goes even with Sabrina, walls the last two gym leaders, destroys the fighting type Elite Four, Bruno, and does well against Dragonite, the Lance Dragon type Pokemon if you have Thunderbolt or Ice Beam, and does well against Charizard, Arcanine, and decent amount of Gary's team or Blue's team depending on what moves you have, since Starmie has a real large move pool. Starmie is a real great Pokemon, but there's just one Pokemon that easily beats Starmie because of this reason. The problem that Starmie is not number one is because you find it a little later than this Pokemon. Starmie's problem is you can only find it in Pallet Town, which is the easiest place you can go since you have Fly at the time after you beat the 4th gym leader, Erika. So after you beat her, use Fly, go back to Pallet Town, use the Rod, you'll get Starmie, grind them up and you get Starmie, then get ready to sweep the game, man. You'll use one of the best water types in Kanto in my opinion. But there's just one Pokemon that beats Starmie from becoming the best Pokemon to use in Kanto. And to me, the best Pokemon to use in the Kanto region is Nidoking and Nidoqueen. You might be saying, why'd you pair both of them up? Well, that's because they basically the same Pokemon with just different stat distribution and different level up move pools. And they're pretty much in my opinion the same Pokemon. And actually I did make a little mistake because if you see, because Nidoking attack stat right there you said it's 92, but it's supposed to be 82 because it then got the buff in Gen 6 where it got 10 points to his attack stat. So yeah, guys, Nidoking and Nidoqueen can be found way early in the game after you beat Brock. And you can even find the Moonstone, the evolution stone you need to evolve these things, in Mount Moon. So you can basically get Nidoking and Queen early in the game. That is ridiculous. And it's really good. Like, they got a ginormous move pool. Like, seriously, the moves you see here for Nidoking are Earthquake, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam. But the difference is Nidoking learns Thrash, which is base 90 in Gen 3, and Nidoking learns Body Slam, which Thrash is much more dangerous, does more damage, while Body Slam has a higher chance of paralyzation. So yeah, it's really great. They does well. Don't evolve your Nidos before you battle Misty, because they are ground types and they really do not like going against the water types. After that, they destroy Lieutenant Surge. Does well against Erika. And has problems. Actually got problems with Koga, because although yes, it can take out Muck, that's because Muck doesn't have Levitate. Two Coughings and a Wheezing both have the ability to Levitate, which basically makes them immune to the ground type attacks. So yeah, and since your best ground move at the time will be Dig, which was base 60, got a buff to base 80, it won't do much, but Dig is still a real good move in the game for story. But after that, it also struggled, of course, against Sabrina's Psychic types because of their poison typing, and they won't have no stab poison move because poison is the worst type at the time, in my opinion. And his best stab poison move is Poison Sting, which is weak. After Sabrina, they completely destroy Blaine and destroy Giovanni. And as for Elite Four, it struggles against the Ice type Elite Four because of the Water types. Does well against the Fighting type Elite Four because they resist the Fighting type moves and can destroy Onyx. And does well against Lance because of Ice Beam and can take out Venusaur and Charizard and Arcanine because of Earthquake when you get Earthquake later on. Thunderbolt can pretty much destroys Pidgeot, and it pretty much does well. The only Pokemon to me you really gotta worry about is Snorlax because of his high special pull. But in my opinion, Nidoking and Queen are the best Pokemon using Kanto. And I hope you guys really do enjoy this video. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe if you guys are new. Peace out.